What I'd like to do is identify the most important things in life and clear out any of the distractions that are getting in the way of that. And this is not super easy to do because life is inherently complicated. There's a lot out of my control that I can't make simpler. But there's also quite a bit that is. If I think about what is the most distracting, complicated thing in my life that's within my control to make a change with, I think it's gotta be my iPhone. Such a simple, boring almost device until you turn it on and it just demands attention. I don't think much on a screen in general is that important. Not nearly as important as what's actually happening in life. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and throw away my iPhone and order myself a flip phone. This isn't the first time I've tried to downgrade my iPhone to a dumber phone in order to simplify my life. About 2 years ago, I went ahead and ordered a cute little Nokia phone that was unlocked on eBay. I did some research and it seemed like what I could do is bring it to my cellular carrier store, ask them for a new SIM card that's going to fit this little guy, and be on my way living a fantastic life with a dumb phone in my pocket. However, when I arrived to the store, I was met with hesitation, if not downright hostility, by the guys working the store. It seemed they had never downgraded someone's iPhone to a dumber phone. They also told me that, hey, don't you know that your iPhone you have right now, it could send people to the moon? And I told them, I'm not trying to go to the moon with my phone. I'm just trying to simplify my life, man. And even if I did want to go to the moon, I think my iPhone would distract me too much in order to even accomplish that. So, long story short, it didn't work out. I couldn't downgrade my phone 2 years ago. But this time, it's different. I am bypassing all of that going into the store nonsense and ordering one online, and now I'm just waiting for it to arrive in the mail. So I think there's a little bit of anxiety I have around going to a simpler phone, almost like I'm going out into the wild, as if I'll be going for a drive somewhere and I'll just get entirely lost. Or maybe there's something I really need to look up online and I just won't be able to do it. And when I talk this out, it sounds kind of silly because it's like, I'm probably not going to get super lost driving around. And if I really need to look up something, I can always do it later. I don't need to have everything right now. And I think that's what iPhones and smartphones and things, that's what they teach us, is that we do need everything right now. But there are definitely three tools that I am going to miss. And I think that is the easy maps that I can use on my phone, having Spotify available, any music I ever want is always there, and then also a nice camera. But I'm going to work around those things, and I think I can solve those maybe with a separate device sometimes, like with a camera. I think I'm going to try to bring around a GoPro more. When I really think about the things that are holding me back from simplifying my phone and making it into a device that's just for communication, it's not that bad. I actually have a um, flashlight on my watch, so I don't really need to have a flashlight on my phone. And calendar things. I use a notebook. It's so much easier for me. I've tried to like make sophisticated programs that update my apps and my Todoist app that I like to use because Todoist is a great app. But the the app that's better than that, the tool at least that's better than that is just writing it down. For me personally, like I get so distracted in making lists and updating things and getting distracted on other apps that sometimes I don't actually just do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm not too worried about losing that with my phone. And again, like I think flip phones nowadays, they seem to be more than just like walkie-talkies. You know, like they actually do have apps you can use, calendars, things like that. The texting is going to be a little harder, you know, like I'm not going to have a full keyboard I'm going to be able to use, but that's okay with me. So those are some of the things I'm maybe a little nervous about, if I'm being honest. Like, but I don't think this nervousness that I have is really going to affect, it's not going to actually play out in real life. And when it does, even if I am going into the wilderness, I think that's probably going to be good for me. I'm pretty sure humans are pretty, you know, we thrive in like places like that in uncertainty and it makes things more adventurous. And I'm about that. I want some more of that in my life. I want to start using a dumb phone and for it to solve all of my attention problems. Um, I know that's not how it's going to actually work. And there's a lot of other things I'll have to do in order to simplify my life. Like, I'm not just going to find all of the important things in my life and dedicate all of my time specifically only to those things just because I have a phone that's not distracting me all the time. But I really do think it's going to help a lot. I'm sure there are a bunch of people out there who can not be distracted by their phone. I am not one of those people. I can spend way too much time being so immersed in what is happening in the internet world. Like YouTube Shorts, that is the worst thing that has ever happened to YouTube. I love YouTube. I really do. I've learned just about everything I know on YouTube. Honestly, like any technical skill, music things, guitar, mandolin, so much of it, programming, man, just so many things I have learned on YouTube. So it's a great productivity tool, I feel like. But now that YouTube Shorts exist, I get sucked in and I cannot put it down, and I am not learning any cool technical skills doing that. Things that I really want in my life to know more about and to, you know, master. Instead, I'm just wasting a bunch of time and giving YouTube a bunch of my data, things that interest me, and, you know, at least things that interest the crocodile brain inside of me, you know, not like the logical, thoughtful part that I want to cultivate more of. There's a bunch of other screens in my life too. It's not like just getting rid of or just transferring from an iPhone to this flip phone is going to solve so much. Like, I still have a computer. Honestly, I still have like a work phone too. That's an iPhone. And those those things are going to still get in the way, and there's still going to be things that I need to limit. But I'm going to work on that. And I've been thinking about how I'm going to limit those things. And once this phone arrives, I'll be able to start plan start part 2 of the plan, right? To limit the other distractions. Right now, it's the main thing, the main distractor that I'm getting rid of. But there's some other things there too. Like, I'm really trying to think of what in my life is so distracting to me. And I think if we all really think about it, screens. Screens are just so distracting. When I was little, we weren't really allowed to watch TV except for like at designated times. And so when I would go to friends' houses that did have TVs, I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from whatever was on the screen because I just I wasn't used to it. Just the colors and lights and, all the stuff that a TV does, the sounds, they were so captivating to me. And, ultimately, maybe it wasn't just because I didn't watch a lot of TV at home. It could have also been because I am just predisposed to being distracted. And I bet that's the case. So I really hope that I can cultivate more of the sensitive, thoughtful, somewhat logical side of myself through removing some of the distractions in my life. And then I can really think about what is the important things. What are the important things? Um, like really, when I think about it, it's the people closest to me, being present with them, being present with my own life in each moment, having good posture. I think that's so important, and phones stop that from happening. Looking down at those screens, physical health too. I, lifting some weights, doing jujitsu. Phones get in the way of that too. And I don't want to sound like it's like smartphones are the worst thing ever invented, but I kind of think they might be. I heard this somewhat controversial person, Peter Thiel. Um, he has an idea where like uh, technology, we think of it having advanced so much in the past 20, 30 years, but he has the idea that maybe it hasn't really. There's like what new technology is there really right now that's so mind-blowing? AI, sure. Like that's definitely it. But that's just the one thing. Other than that, like our phones really haven't changed too much. We still just have screens and all that kind of stuff. And like, how has society really advanced since, like, with technology? What is it about technology that's actually so helpful to us all? Um, and I think we're just scratching the surface. Like we're not even we think that we're so advanced. We think we're so ahead of everything, and there's so much more that we could do as a society. And I think if we have the mentality that we are an advanced, technologically sound, innovative society, an innovative world, and I think we need to reevaluate what good technology really is, how it impacts our lives and improves our well-being as a society. And like smartphones, they're they're futuristic for sure, but I don't think they're good for society or for our mental health and for societal health. And I think that's why I'm doing this and why I'm trying to get away from the smartphones and more towards a life grounded in what's actually happening around me. So I ordered the phone a couple days ago. Still waiting for it to arrive in the mail, though. It is on back order. Apparently, this is a very popular phone to get. But once it arrives, we're gonna go check it out, see what it can do, and yeah, that's what we'll do in the next video. And we'll talk really soon.